Ah, what a nice toasty fire. Especially useful to have out here in the void. It's pretty lonely. And the especially nice part about it is, I can toggle it all the way off. I can also expand it infinitely over in that direction, so I can make the longest and coziest fireplace ever. Without further ado, we will jump into the tutorial so you guys can see how to do this as well. The method that I'm going to be using for this tutorial is borrowed from my good friend Zuzuma. The layer we're working on is going to be red, and the layers that we have worked on in the past are going to be white. I'm not trying to steal his style, I just think it is the best way to do a tutorial for a layer by layer system, and I just want to put out the best content for the community. So that is how we're going to be doing it today. For this project, you are going to need 13 of a non-specific block as long as it's not a transparent block. I'm just using wool here, but you could use cobblestone, pretty much anything. You're going to need 3 redstone wire, 2 repeaters, 1 piston, 4 powered rails, 1 regular rail, and you're also going to need whatever you make the back of the fireplace out of, and 1 of whatever the bottom of the fireplace is going to be made out of. So the first layer right here is going to be just 2 blocks with a redstone and a repeater set to single delay. Layer 2 is going to add another simple 2-block piece to that. And layer 3 is going to add 2 blocks above here and 1 block behind. There's going to be 2 here, and then 1 above the repeater, and then another 2-block piece, so it's sort of like stairs there. And then on top of this is a dust and a repeater set to single delay. Layer 4 is going to be a block in front of this repeater with a regular piston facing this way, and then another block up here and here on either side of this. Make sure that this is a regular piston and not a sticky piston, or it'll grab this and mess up the system. Layer 5 is going to be the final layer for this regular single width fireplace piece, and all you're going to do for that is you're going to add a block here. Now, I'm going to show you how to place the tracks, because if you notice, we did not place them here. That is because there is a special way that you have to place them. Before you place this redstone dust, you'll place a powered track here and here, and the reason we're placing these last is because it has to go downward in order to make everything slant correctly. You'll put one here, and here, here, and here. Oops, this should be a regular one. So, powered one there, 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 regular there, and then powered there. Then you'll remove this, place a piece of redstone, and then place whatever the back of your fireplace is going to be made out of. I'm going to sleep the night off, and then we will get into building the input that handles the button press to start the system. That was a nice night, and now we're going to go back into the tutorial. You saw over there that I had a single button next to the fireplace that I pushed to start the machine, and that is what we're going to be creating here. You're going to start with, besides the first one in the row, you'd extend them this way. You're going to have 3 additional blocks, and on the first one you're going to place your first block of the button in system, which is just going to be a single block next to this one with a redstone on top. The next layer is going to add a block here and here. Make sure you don't have to put anything here. It's not that there can't be, it's just not necessary. And then on top of this, there's going to be redstone, and then a repeater set to 2, and a repeater set to 2. Make sure they're set to 2 or it'll mess up the timing and the cart will just flip through the system over and over again, which we do not want. Layer 3 is going to add a sticky piston behind here. And on that sticky piston, you'll place a block. And then you're going to add a block here in front of this repeater with a torch on it. And next to this, you're going to add a block with a piece of redstone on it and a torch here. The next layer, or next couple layers, but we're going to put it all into one step because each of them is just one block. You're going to add up above this another block. See, nothing behind the piston, just on top of it. There's going to be redstone on top of that. And then in order to power this track and these 2 tracks, there's going to be a block here with a torch on it. This is always going to be on, so this is not connected to the system. In addition to these 2 blocks that you've placed, this being the bottom of the fireplace, this being the back, at the far right you're going to place another block, and you're going to put the button on it with a torch on the back. And that will cause the system to do this. And if it's doing that, you've done it correctly. Now we have to add the cart, which we will grab here. The cart is going to go right there to start, and before we set it on fire, we will make sure the system functions properly. And when you build the final design, you are going to have a floor here. So we'll just place that there for now in order to make it function properly. But here, let me just... Oh dear. Alright, technical difficulties. We'll be back in a second. Alright, lesson learned. Place a block here before you start this system, because otherwise the minecart will mess up. To test it, you place a block there, push it through once. If it does that, and then that, you have prepared it correctly. To light the minecart on fire, you replace these 2 blocks, and then set this one on fire. You then start the machine, and then take that block out. The minecart will now be on fire, and it will not light other blocks around it on fire or go out. To make sure that everything is functioning properly, you can replace this. And you have a working fireplace. In order to continue this, to make it larger than 2 blocks, you just copy the 1 wide design that we made over there, and you just extend it over to the left. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment, video response, or even PM me if you feel that that is necessary. So goodbye for now. This has been another Minecraft tutorial, and I have made a version of this that's much simpler that uses the fireballs in 1.2. That'll be coming out sometime this week because I've heard that these burning entities now start things on fire in 1.2. So 1.2 edition coming out this week, along with a couple other surprise tutorials for you. I also want to give a shout out to New H Bish. It's probably pronounced New Bish, but I'm just going to say it that way. He came up with a design that is actually remarkably like mine, and I found this while actually looking for ways to easily set a minecart on fire. I searched how to set a minecart on fire, and this came up. He uses almost the same method for getting the minecart up, but his design, as far as I can tell, is not expandable. But just so you know, I'm not the first one to actually do this. There have been other people who have done similar things. I just wanted to let you know, because I feel like somebody deserves credit for thinking of the idea probably first. So that's just a little update for you guys, and goodbye.